it's Alex and I'm in my kitchen. As you can see, not doing too good. Oh man, I've had enough of this year. It's just one thing after another. I've got these here. They're the size of my little finger. Antibiotics for my bladder. I got these for 3 months. 2 of these I have to take for 3 months every day. And I've got 2 Nurophens for this. And I've got a bowl of porridge down there, which I'm going to enjoy. Anyway, today I'm going to go out and play with the Marina with one hand. Well, 1.5 hands. I was playing with it last night and I was going to bring you out with me, but it was so dark. I thought, you're not going to see anything. And also I had to be really careful with my hand. I wasn't sure how much I could do. And I can't risk knocking it. So at the moment it looks dramatic because I've got it in a sling. But I don't really need it in a sling. The reason I've got it in a sling was the nurse told me the best thing is to keep it elevated. If it's hurting, like, because it will swell if you keep it down. So I'll try and keep it up, but I can keep it up without the sling. I just walk around like that, you know. But I've got an ice pack wrapped in this towel. And again, she said to keep it on ice for 4 times a day for 15-20 minutes. So I'm having my morning dose of ice, drugs and porridge, and then I'm going to go outside. So the problem is this finger about here is broken. From the knuckle, there's a crack and it goes all the way up to the edge and then sort of splints out the bone. Sorry if you're feeling squeamish. I don't know if you can see on the camera, but it's all slightly bruised. And the nurse taped it to my other finger. I mean, it's sort of bent like that. And I said to her, you know, shouldn't you sellotape it to like a lollipop stick to keep it straight? But she didn't seem bothered, and she's just taped it to my other finger. So I hope that when it heals, it's not going to be healed like that. So I can't move these 2 fingers really. So I'm limited really to this. I can do that. I can grip now. I couldn't before, but I can grip with that. And this finger I can bring down, but I just have to be careful that I don't try and bend these because that's when it starts to hurt. So I've got these fingers to play with, but obviously I've got to be so careful. I can't go to work with it because I can't be changing wheels and things. And I haven't driven since it happened, and I don't think I can drive at the moment just because it's not strong enough yet. But I keep working on these fingers, and hopefully then I can drive safe enough with these fingers so I can get Peggy, my Allegro, to the NEC on Thursday. Yes. If not, I might have to employ somebody called Andrew to drive it for me. But yeah. Anyway, enough of me blabbing. I'm going to get on and eat my porridge off camera. And then I'll take you outside to see the mess I've made of the Marina. Alright, here we go. Let's go outside. I tell you what, you don't realise how much you rely on the hand. I mean, I'm left-handed, thank goodness, so I can still write and do most things. And I was thinking about, I had a friend in the past, we're not friends now, we fell out. And she only had one hand. She had one hand and she had a disfigured or deformed arm. So she sort of had a little hand, so she could sort of use that to hold things to help her. And I was thinking, like, gosh, you know, is this how it was like for her? And then I thought, it is, but with mine at the minute, I have to be careful because if I knock this, not only does it flipping hurt, but it will ruin the healing process. Whereas with her one hand and funny hand, there was no pain involved and no risk. So this is why it's more awkward for me, is that I have to be careful because I cannot risk ruining the healing process, knocking it and being in agony, So yeah, I've just got to be really, really careful, as I was last night, and that's why the Marina's looking a little bit like a mess. Take my strong hand. Peggy is back from the body shop. Her bonnet, although it doesn't look immaculate because a bird decided to make a mess, but the bonnet is beautiful. Bonnet's been painted, scuttle has been painted. This is still on its original paint, and the roof is still original paint. So he's just sort of feathered it in along the thing. Was going to have a new windscreen rubber fitted, but this old one is actually really good, so they've just resealed it back in, so that was good. Yeah, Peggy just needs a wash and a bit of a polish here and there, but I can do that at the NEC, the polishing, and I can do that with one hand. But the worst thing is I've got to try and get the carpet back in, because that's in the dining room drying out. It's dry now, and it's all just a bit dusty in there, but all in all, she'll be ready for the NEC. Those dirty tyres, disgusting. The Marina, oh, don't. So, I think I can hold you with my dodgy hand. There we go. The Marina turned into a mess. I went to have a look at fitting a new radio, so I could have my Bluetooth radio. Turned out like half the dashboard had to come out, so this dashboard here runs all along here. Had loads of little screws holding on the bits of fascia, these bits. So to pull the heater knobs off, pull the radio knobs off, pull that out. I took the steering cowling off, which is just a couple of screws. That was easy. Again, the screws on this one, but I couldn't get it out fully because the choke cable, oh, hang on, and I didn't want to start disconnecting all that, and I didn't need to get in this corner, so at the moment this piece of dash is literally just held up with one screw. I managed to put my leg underneath, hold it up and get one screw in just so it's not hanging down. So that was a big palaver. The fan didn't work when I got it, so I started testing that. There was no power getting to the switch. I found an inline fuse holder. Oh, that's part of it. Inline fuse holder with no fuse in. Okay, so I've got a fuse. Put it in. I don't know if you can see, but it blew. That was a 15 amp fuse. I thought, I'll try another one. Put another one in, and I watched it. It actually glowed, or glue, or whatever you say. went bright red and popped the fuse. So I ummed and ahed. I thought, I'll just try a 25 amp fuse. I put that in. It didn't blow, but it got quite warm. So we gave up on that plan. Checked all the wiring. Wiring looks fine. So it must be the actual fan in the heater box that's seized. So this is all with me meant to be fitting a radio. So it's now turned from fitting a radio to removing the heater box. And another reason to remove the heater box, this is all with one bloody hand. I'm going to get Raimi to help me when he comes back from work. And I've got a new old stock heater hose to fit as well. So we can sort of kill 3 birds with one stone. So we can get that changed, we can get the heater box out, fix the fan, replace it, and fit a radio. Oh dear, what a palaver. So today, on my own with one hand, I'm going to undo, there's a bolt just there, and one on the other side, and then there's a bolt under the bonnet, or nut, and then technically this should just sort of fall out. And I might be able to do that with one hand. If not, I'll have to wait for Raimi. And I'll probably go and clean the Allegro then if that doesn't work out. Right, I'll go and get my ratchet. I'm going to bloody cry in a minute. Now struggle this is with one hand. I'm going to get these Jubilee clips off. Look, I've got the bolts all the way out with one hand. And the things are still stuck on there. And breathe. So I'm just going to get some pliers on those and trying to bloody get them off. It's a bit tight to even get my little grinder in there. I don't want to damage the top hose because I haven't got replacement. I've only got replacement bottom hose. Right, I'll see if I can get this top hose off at least. The bottom one I could just cut. This is also absolutely no good for my back whatsoever. Thank God for that, there's movement. I'll just keep wiggling it. I've got to try and get the pipe off. And somehow what I want to do is I want to bypass the heater. I want to fit this inside the heater tubes, the pipes coming from the engine, to join them up, so if it turns out that the heater box has got to be out longer than expected, at least the car can still start, run and drive. You don't need the heater, you can just bypass it. Tell you what, it's amazing what you can do with one hand if you really have to, you know. And I've just bypassed a heater matrix with one hand and one little edge of a finger that I had to sort of hold a Jubilee clip in place to stop it spinning around. Just get you in there so you can see. So there you go, there's the 2 heater pipes, and they're disconnected from the matrix now and they're connected to each other, so it's just bypassing it for now, so that way I can get the heater box out and I can still start my engine if I need to, and you know, drive about and just keep an eye on the temperature, make sure it's not overheating. But yeah, all I've got to do now is take that bolt out the top and the heater box should fall out. Let's find out. Right, I've took that bolt out. In the workshop manual it was a nut and a stud, because it said you have to pull the heater box sort of down and out so it slides off, or the stud slides out of the bulkhead. But it looks like they might have done away with the stud idea and just put a bolt in. Either that or I've undone the wrong thing. But I can't see any other studs there, unless it's hidden behind that sound deadening panel. Right, let's see if the heater box is going to move, because technically it's now disconnected. So let's get in there. It's trying to move, but it is blooming awkward with one hand. So I might have to wait for Amy to come back. But I'm going to keep wiggling and try and get it out. So it looks like whoever fitted the carpet has shoved the carpet up into the flap. Because there's a little flap that opens and closes to blow air on your feet or not. And the carpet's jammed up in that flap. That explains why the little slider wasn't moving freely. And I think that's why the box isn't coming out. The trouble I'm having with this is not only have I only got one hand, but the flipping carpet is just getting stuck underneath the heater. Oh, I'm gonna have to cut the bloody thing out in a minute. It's getting there, it's nearly out. But I'm having to pull the carpet out the way and then pull the heater, whereas if I had another hand I'd pull the carpet out the way with one hand and pull the thing out with the other. I'm just having to do it a bit at a time. It's coming. It should be easier to go back in because I can fit the carpet properly, even though I hate the carpet because it's green and it just looks horrible. The carpet should be brown in my eyes. All this for a fan. Why couldn't they bolt the fan on the outside? In the user manual it doesn't say that you have to take the whole dash out. But the way this is going, I think it would have been a lot easier if I had the whole dashboard out. Try and save the insulation. That wraps around the box. Oh, my hand. There's a big empty space under here now. So the box is out of the dashboard. I just got to get it out of the car now, but I'm going to put this piece of fascia back up because I don't want it to get damaged. Well, it's already damaged, but... Four to 6 weeks, they said this is going to take to heal. 4 to 6 blooming weeks. Basically, next year. I am the one-armed bandit. The heater itself works really well. It gets really hot, and there's no sign of any leaks. So I'm not going to touch the heater matrix today. And I know some of you will probably say, "Well, you've got it out now, so you might as well change it or something." But it works. It works, and I know that when it comes to it, you know, if I need to take the box out again, I'll know how to do it, and I should have 2 hands, which will make it a lot easier. So we need to get this chamber apart to access the fan, because it's the fan that's not working. Because when you drive along at speed, the air going in to the car pushes through the heat nicely. But when you're in traffic and you want to demist the car or something, there's no fan, so it sucks. So along the edge here, if you can see, probably not. Here we go. So this is the top. That's the bit that goes up against that vent in the bulkhead. Along here, there's a row of screws all round, and that's, I think they call the plenum chamber or something. I can't remember now. Phlegm chamber or something. And I think, if I remember rightly, if we get this off, we can find the fan, and we can see what's going on with that. Of course, the good thing about these heater boxes is that you don't really see them, because they're hidden behind the dashboard. Unlike the Rover P4 and the Rover P6 and MGBs and things like that, their heater boxes are under the bonnet and you can see them clear as day. But these are hidden behind the dash, so they haven't got to look amazing, have they? Obviously, if this was a customer's car, I'd do it all, you know, immaculate. But it's only my Marina, so I'll give the box a little bit of a clean, and as long as it works, I'm happy. Right, if I get you down here, you'll be able to see. Ta-da! Oh, there's a few twigs in there. Oh yeah, there we go. This is why the fuse was blowing. That is stiff as hell. Come on, fan. Oh yeah, you can feel it. That should spin nicely, and it's definitely not. But I'm glad it's not seized completely solid, so it holds out some hope. Hopefully I can get it apart and lubricate it, and it should be okay. Fingers crossed. Now to get it out, it looks like there's plastic nuts in there. You can undo, and then that should come out, I believe. Meanwhile, in here using one finger. We have got yeah, mess. 50% of this heater box is metal, the rest of it's plastic, which is good. The foam actually is very good. The foam inside, gosh, it's not crumbling or anything in there. So again, I'm not going to bother touching that. I'm just going to probably hoover out all these twigs and leaves and feathers as well. Get all that out of there, and I'm just going to give it a quick clean up, and that'll be fine, I reckon. I'll just check the bottom flap if I can. Yeah, again, the foam is not bad. I shall leave well alone. All the vents work. You can see in there. That's your hot and cold flap. And yeah, it's all working well. So I'm not going to worry too much about that. It's the fan we need to sort out. Well, it looks like game over for a little bit. The heater box down here, I've given a little bit of a clean on the outside. It's not that bad. It's a little bit surface rust inside. Horrible overspray on that. But I'm going to hoover that out. The fan, I say the fan is what stopped play. The fan was very, very seized, and I had to get it apart with using a hammer. And I found the bearing to be seized on the shaft so bad that when I tried to remove it, the bearing just crumbled. So it took me ages to get the fan off with one hand. That was entertaining. I used a bit of heat, clamped it in the vise, and then I could use my left hand to lever it off. The fan here, I'll hold you, take my strong hand. This part of the fan's good, so the bearing in the back, that's good. The brushes are very good, and everything looks really healthy here, lubricated it all, ready. But the bearing that was in here was seized on there, and I say it just disintegrated. I don't know where the bits went, probably on the floor. Yeah, it's not in existence anymore. So I've got a load of spare fans in my other garage, but I can't really get there because I'm not feeling confident enough to drive at the moment with my hand. So Ramey's at the scrapyard now because he hasn't got the keys to my garage. He's just left work and he's popped in the scrapyard, and he's going to have a look and see if there's any Smith's fans on any of the old cars in there, because there's a Herald in there at the moment and a few other things like Morris Minor. So have a look, see if you can get a fan, because if I can just get this cap, a good cap off of a fan with the bearing in it, and just pop that on, Bob's your uncle. So yeah, annoying about that, but there you go. So I don't think anything else is going to happen tonight, so I'm going to go wash my hands, and well, yeah, I'm just going to hoover out that heater box, and that's it. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.